In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the new Incline Bracelet using the Rainbow Loom. So you want to have your loom set up with the pins in a staggered position so they're not in line with one another, and you want all of the opened ends to be facing you. You will need about 180 bands to make this bracelet, and today I'll be using the Rainbow Loom black, white, and fuchsia colors. So you're going to place your inside colors on the loom first. So I'm going to do black, and I'm going to go to the third pin up on the left side of the loom, and the band is going to stretch from the left side, skip over the middle, and go all the way to the right. And there's no need to twist. And now I'm going to switch to white, and now this is going to go on the next pin up on the left hand side, and again it's going to stretch all the way across to the right. And now I'm going to place the outside color on, so I'm going to use fuchsia. It's going from the second pin in the middle row, it's skipping the next two above and going to that next one up. And when I stretch this up, I want it to go alongside of the two pins that I'm skipping. I want it to go along the right hand side, and then I'm going to push this down. And so now I want the bands that are on the left to move over to the right, but I don't want them to move straight across. They're going to come over and go diagonally up to the next pin. So I'm grabbing this bottom black band, getting it off of that pin. Now it's coming over and going to that next pin above. And then the same thing for the white. It's coming over from the left to the right, but it's moving up to that next pin. I'm going to push this down, and now I'm ready to add my next layer. So this time I'm going to switch the position of the center bands. So instead of black being first, white is going to be first. It's going to that third pin up on the left hand side. It's going straight across to the right, and now I'm going to the pin above and I'm doing black, stretching all the way across, and then I'm taking this fuchsia band that's going on the second pin, skipping the next two and going to the pin above. It's always going to go on the right hand side of the two pins that I'm skipping. And again, I want the bands on the left to move over to the right, but they're going to move diagonally up to that next pin above. And then the same thing again, coming across and moving up. And push this down. I'm going to add one more layer before I take any off. So white was first last time, so I'm switching to black on the bottom here, going straight across. And now going to the pin above, I have white. And finally, the outside color is going from the second pin, skipping the next two, and going to that next pin up. Now the bands on the left will move across and diagonally up. Doing that with both bands. And now I have 3 layers on, so what I want to do is remove the bottom layer from all of the pins. Now on the very end, you're going to have 3 bands, so I want the bottom rubber band to come over the top. On the pins to the right here, you're going to have 3 bands on the 2 end pins, and then there's actually going to be 6 bands in the center. So on the end, I want just the bottom 1 band. In the middle, I want the bottom 2, so I'm going to grab the bottom 2 at once. So I have one of each color, one black and one white. It's coming over the top. And then on the next pin up, I have the bottom white to come over. And then finally at the very top, you're going to have to grab this band from the side since you can't go into the middle. I have the bottom fuchsia band that's coming over the top, and release. I'm going to push all of this down. And now I want to add my next layer, so I'm starting with white at the bottom since it was black last time. And then the black will go above that. And now the fuchsia will go in the center, going around the next 2 pins and then to the one above. And now the bands on the left are coming over and moving to that next pin above. And now every time I place a layer on the top, I want to remove the bottom layer. So again, it's going to be 1 band from the very end, and then it's going to be 1 from the bottom pin on the right, and then 2 for the middle, so I'm taking them both at once. It's going to be 1 of each color. And now just 1 band from the top. And then at the very top here, again, you're going to have to grab from the side. You want the bottom rubber band to come over the top and push this all down. So as your bracelet starts to grow, if you have a rainbow loom, you'll have an open area in between the base plates where it can grow. If you have another brand, you'll have to just have it grow out in between the pins, either on the right hand side or on the back here on the left. So I'm just going to continue on in the same pattern. Let me show you it one more time. Since I did white last, I'm doing black, the bottom, and now white for the next pin up. I'm taking fuchsia and it's going to cross the black and white bands. It's going around the side of the pin. And now on the left, they're going to move over and up 1. And now finally, I want that bottom layer to come off. It's going to be 2 from the middle here. It's just 1 from all the rest. And then push that down. So I will just continue in that same pattern, and when the bracelet gets long enough, I will show you how to remove it from the loom. When you have your bracelet to the length that you'd like it and you're ready to take it off of the loom, you want to take the rubber bands that are on the bottom right pin. There should be 2. You're going to get them on your hook and move them to the pin above. Make sure they both get on there. And then you're going to take the 2 rubber bands that are on the top right pin and you're going to move those down to the middle. And so now you want to take the bottom rubber bands off. So I will do this 2 at a time. Just grabbing the bottom 2 rubber bands and pulling them over the top. And then I'll take the next 2 bottom bands. And then finally I'm going to take the next 2 bottom bands. So now I just have 2 rubber bands left on. Now I'm going to take the 2 rubber bands from the center pin, the one that's closest to me, and I'm going to move them up to this middle pin. Again, just make sure that both rubber bands make it on. And now I'm taking the bands from the top, middle, and again I'm getting both of those bands to go on the center pin. And now I want the bottom 2 rubber bands to come up through the fuchsia bands. So I'm putting my hook down through the middle and pushing back on those top 4 bands, grabbing the bottom 2. I'm going to pull these up through. And now I can pull the rest of this bracelet off of the loom. I'm going to take a clip. I have an S clip here. Just going to hook these 2 bands through the one side, and then on the other side just going to hook some of the bands on the end, and I'll put those through the other side of this clip. And then here is the bracelet. So you can see it has the black and white stripes, these diagonal stripes. And if you feel that there's any spaces where you can see the middle band through, like you can see the fuchsia coming through, you can just take your hook and just carefully slide the other bands over towards the middle to cover that up. And also I like to just take these edges and just sort of push them back because they do tend to want to curl in a little bit. So I like to do this so you can see the pattern better. And then here's what it looks like on the reverse side. It's just fishtails with the two colors together, the two center colors. And I'll show you some of the other ones that I had made. Here's one with blue and purple with white on the edge. And then here's the one I did in the monster tail video with teal, white, and black. I hope that everyone enjoyed making the Incline bracelet. You can always leave me comments on YouTube and Facebook, post pictures of your creations to my Facebook page, and please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all of my latest tutorials. You can also find me on Pinterest and Instagram, so please feel free to subscribe to those as well. Thanks for watching!